Hi, I'm Beth, and I'm going to be your host for the Briamar Bag by Bumbleroot Designs Sew Along. I wanted to make this video so I could go over three things with you. I wanted to go over how the sew along will work. I want to go over some of the features of the Briamar bag, and I also wanted to talk to you about your supplies you will need in case you want to order them ahead of time if you don't have any. So the first thing let's go over is let's talk about how a sew along works in this particular one. What we're going to do is each day from June the 13th through June the 17th, I'm going to upload a new video in the Facebook event group. You have to be in that event group to see these videos. So when I upload that video, it'll be a post in the event. What you will do is you'll watch the video and I'll explain the tasks that are to be completed that day. You do not have to complete them that day or at that specific time. These videos will stay on my YouTube channel permanently so that you can watch them anytime you want to. But if you want to be entered into the random drawing at the end of the sew along for a free pattern from Bumbleroot Designs, you do need to post progress pictures. For example, on Monday we will do the cutting and interfacing of this pattern. If you cannot cut and interface on Monday, but instead you want to do it on Wednesday, that's fine. But you will have to go back to the Monday post and put your progress picture of your cutout and interface pieces there. By the end on Friday, that is when we will complete our pouch or bag, whichever you choose to do. And I will select someone to win on Sunday the 19th. So if you haven't sewn your bag by Saturday the 18th, you could sew it all in that one day. Just go back and post your progress pictures on each day's post. If you have any questions or if that's confusing at all, just let me know and I'll explain it better. I'm not the best at explaining on videos at times. Okay, so that is the main way this sew along will work. It is going to be beginner friendly. It's going to be aimed completely at beginners. So if you are an expert sewist, especially with bag making, you may get a little bored or a little frustrated with how slow it goes. And I do apologize for that, but this one will be very beginner friendly. I'm going to show each step and talk about it in detail. The next thing I want to do is I kind of want to explain some of my favorite features about this bag and why you may want to sew with me. The main things I like about this pattern is its zipper installation. Most zipper pouches I see have zipper tabs and I always have trouble getting them perfect. They're a little wonky sometimes. This one in the front, and you'll see various pictures of mine that I'll post, has a very smooth rounded zipper on one end, and on the other one she uses the cocoon method to neatly tuck that zipper in there. This is my favorite part because it just makes it so neat and tidy looking when you look at the top of your bag. The other feature that I find really unique about this is this right here is actually a zipper pocket. This is not a common way to install a zipper pocket. I love it. I never would have been able to think of how to install this myself, so I was really grateful to find this new installation method. So that is some features of this pouch that make it, in my mind, a really cool way to have these design features and a cool way to sew up a pouch. So now I'm going to talk to you about the supplies needed for this sew along. Okay? The first thing you want to have is a ½ yard of vinyl. I tend to, well, let me rephrase that. A ½ yard of material. You can use vinyl, which is what I'm going to use, but you could also use cork, cotton, or cotton canvas. There's many options you can use. I'm using vinyl just because it is easier for me to sew with vinyl because I do not have to interface it, and I don't have to worry about it fraying, and it's just a fun way to do it. I'll link where I get my vinyl from down below, but I will be using vinyl, which will not require interfacing. If you have any questions about where to find vinyl, cork, or which ones are domestic friendly, let me know and I will help you with that. But just know that if you do choose to use cotton, you will have to interface it to give it the same kind of thickness or feel of a cork or a vinyl. The next thing we'll need to have is a ½ yard of our interior. I'm choosing to use a cotton canvas for my interior. Again, I want to avoid interfacing just because it saves time and makes it easier for me to do that. You can use either waterproof canvas or a cotton lining. If you use cotton, you will need to interface that with a light to midway interfacing as well. Again, any questions on the lining materials, let me know and I'll go into more details about them. The next thing you will need is a zipper. With this pattern, we need almost a yard of zipper tape. Okay, if you are new to bag making, you may not understand the differences with zippers, but we will need a number 5, which is our larger zipper, and it is best if you can find zipper by the yard. We will have to take this zipper and we will separate it, and we're only going to use one side of this zipper. Now the other side you can still use for another project, so it's not waste. So we will need to be able to separate it. All of your zippers can separate. If you are not good with putting a pull on, I will show you how to do that in the video, but you also may want to practice some. It's not hard to do, but it does take practice to be able to get that easily. So you will need about 36 inches of zipper tape, and you will need a zipper pull. If you don't have zipper tape on hand, you can find it on Amazon. Number 5, zipper by the yard. I think it's about $50 for a lot of zipper tape that you can use for multiple bags. Any questions again on how to purchase or where to get your zipper tape from, just put a question down below in the comments and I will definitely give you more details on that. Okay, you're also going to need clips to clip several things in place. So you can use these plastic clips or you can use the metal type clips, whichever is your preference. We're going to need some double-sided tape. I do prefer the 1/8 of an inch tape to keep everything out of the seam allowances. I do use, this is not the wash away kind. This is just I guess I could say permanent tape. You can find this on Amazon. If you need help finding it, let me know. I'll help you with that. Glue. You will need just a little bit of glue. I use the Beacon 3-in-1, but you don't have to. You can use any glue, and this is just a little bit there at the end, so you don't even need a big portion of that. Rivets. This is something I know a lot of people get nervous about, but rivets are not hard to install. You do need a rivet setter. You can find a very cheap set on Amazon, I think only for like $10. I can provide links if you want that, if you don't have it. If you are not able to purchase rivets or a rivet setter at the moment, you could do this pattern without it. It does help stabilize the zipper at the end, so it does have a benefit. It's not just for aesthetics. So I do recommend it, but if it is not in your abilities to purchase right now, we can work around that and we can talk about that as we go. But you do not need a double cap rivet, you just need a single rivet. One other thing I don't have that is in the pattern is we will use a little bit of firm stabilizer. It can be just a small piece. It can be a scrap, and it is for the rivet to kind of secure the rivet, stabilize it. We could also use a couple layers of a light or medium weight interfacing. So if you do not have Decoville light or anything like that, you don't have to go out and purchase it unless you'll be using it for a different bag. We can make work around that. So this is the basic supplies and the basic things we will need for this sew along. I wanted to try to explain everything, so if anything you didn't have, you had time to purchase and get it in the mail. You had time to ask questions if you were unclear on anything and things of that nature. But I'm really glad that you're joining me for this sew along. This is one of my favorite patterns. I've made several. Plan on continuing to make several because it is a unique design and I can sew it up in just a couple hours. I hope you enjoy it too. Anything you're concerned with, let me know, and I hope we have a lot of fun sewing this. I'm so glad you're sewing it with me, and I hope everybody has a great day, and I will see you on June the 13th in my next video. Thanks.